Hello, darling. If you have arrived here, you've either just a loyal subscriber, which love you, or you are here based on a video that you've seen on my TikTok. Either way, welcome, darling. And let's get into the goodness. If you are new, I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. And it would mean the most to me if you were able to like this video so it could jump your girl right into the algorithm with the other YouTubers. Share this video with any and everyone so they can come and vibe out with your girl. And more importantly, hit that subscribe button and then the bell so your phone rings every time my ugly ass face come across the screen. So this video, we're going to focus directly on and solely on my 600-pound life. Okay? TLC just premiered a new season of My 600-Pound Life, which I believe is season 11, yesterday night. Today's Thursday, February 9th, by the way. And there's this one patient on there in particular named LaTanya that I definitely want to cover her story, okay? She's based out of Shreveport, Louisiana. And like most patients, right, she comes on doing the same things typical of TLC. They show her sleeping, in pain, miserable, depressed, how she bathes in the morning, her hygiene routine, all that good stuff. What I noticed immediately off the bat is that after her shower routine, she has a very, let's just say she has a caregiver, right? And but her caregiver comes, acknowledges her, gives her a grand rising, and then goes to make her breakfast. And LaTanya starts a little self-care. What I mean by that, she puts on a wig and she puts on some makeup. If I can find a clip of that, I'll put it right here.
She was more independent.
I barely couldn't even, take care of my fiance as a woman because of me being overweight. And I don't want to be unfair to him. He's completely devoted to me because I helped him get out of prison.
Which indicates to me that she's someone who cares about her appearance. And a lot of the times, and correct me if I'm wrong, and these is just my opinions because it's my motherfucking channel. Okay, but I notice with a lot of patients who have that aspect of self-care, self-love, they want to get made up or keep their nails done and things like that, their toes done. It's kind of a like hyperbole to me, or oxymoron, if you will, because it's like you kind of are morbidly obese at this point and addicted to food, but in the aspect of self-care, you care enough about your hair and your nails, but not enough about your health. But I digress. A lot of these people have addictions, and addictions sometimes surpass logical thinking, so we'll give them a break. But needless to say, that was the very first thing that I noticed. I was like, she's doing her hair and her makeup. Now, it could be for vain purposes because she was going to be on TV, which also will lead into my main point for this very shortly. But it also could be because we come to find out shortly thereafter that she has a fiance named Dewan, who's also someone that she met in prison. Let me clarify. He was in prison and her cousin was in prison with him at one point, and they were friends and knew that he was looking for, a significant other, and he had happened to make note that he was a BBW lover. Okay? Some people could say he was fetishizing LaTanya. But as the show progressed, you definitely got to see that Dewan was the one that cared the most, in my humble opinion. Now, moving forward into the meat and potatoes. So after the first couple of days of getting to know LaTanya, getting, to see her portion size and how much she eats, and that food is actually an addiction for her, which I just don't understand why. And I'm going to insert a clip here.
It's not real bad. So one night she was having an attack. So 2 years, I was always a little chubby. Food was just something we did as a family and as a community.
Why TLC? And I get it. It's reality TV. It has to be salacious. It has to keep us, the viewers, coming back. But it's kind of exploitation. And if you look into a little bit of research, there have been litigious cases in the past from previous participants that have sued TLC and or the production company, may even have sued My 600-Pound Life because they felt exploited. And I can't help but to agree, when the more and more these shows go on and these episodes premiere, that aesthetic is played. And what I mean is, we already know that we can expect to see these people eat. For God's sakes, they're 500 to 600 pounds, if not a ton. you know, and it's called My 600-Pound Life. We're pretty much guaranteed to see their depressive state and the addiction part of their life, which is their food. But why is it that the production company, the cameramen, TLC, the editors, as a conglomerate, have to make sure that they drive home the obesity of this person by the certain camera angles that they have these cameras in? Like, if I'm here, can't the camera be perpendicular to me rather than slightly below me, so when it's looking up at me, it enhances my size, including lymphedemas and things like that. It just makes it all the more disgusting, and make it drives home how very big these people are. Furthermore, when they're eating, I zero in and zoom in on these people when they're eating to make it seem like they're eating more than what they are, even though their portions are insanely big, and that they're being completely gluttonous, to kind of drive home the fact that we want you as a viewer to understand just how fucking fat and greedy they are. Anyway, that was a quick little rant as far as that goes. LaTanya, we come to find out that she's a previous patient of Dr. Now's, okay? And she was, supposed to be in his program about 5 to 6 years ago. But moving on. So, as I was saying, the meat and potatoes. So we really start to dive deep. Like, a lot of these patients, I find, have depressive issues because they suffer from mental abuse or neglect in the home. They suffer loss, or they suffer from sexual assault. And unfortunately, like many others, LaTanya was no different. Her mom died when she was really young, at the age of 12, unexpectedly from asthma, and she actually seen her mother after she was deceased, which can be very scarring and mentally traumatic for a child. Her father, whom she was very close with, abruptly a few months after that ended up taking off and marrying someone else, thus leaving LaTanya and her siblings behind with their grandparents, and she felt a sense of like neglect and loss in that. She also was sexually assaulted. So unfortunately, that's just how a lot of these addictions speed roll when they become adults because of unprocessed feelings. She ends up having to go to psychotherapy. Dr. Now, suggests it. But what really stood out to me, that made it very hard for me not to sympathize with her, but really get behind her cause, was that she was very passive aggressive, and she was also very defraudulently positive. And what I mean by that is she would always have something to say in a way that her tone didn't seem very escalated or off, but you could tell it was very manipulative and disrespectful. I'm a firm believer in it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And a lot of people will gaslight you in ways that because they don't raise their voice or use pejorative language, that you think that they're being nice and communicating when really they're being an asshole completely. She had a very supportive fiance, the one which we were speaking about earlier. And like I said, he had a thing for BBWs. Normally I fetishize men like that, but as the episode progressed, you could see he really cared for LaTanya, to the point where even when she wanted to be negative, he decided to remain positive, and that was a point of contention in a lot of their arguments. He would say, I'm a firm believer in being positive, and you already have so much going against you that why would you want to be negative in a situation that's already negative enough? I don't like that. And it could be because, in prison, a lot of the times the main thing they want you to do is to reform your life. So it could be that he's choosing to be positive because he's been down a negative road and made choices that, cost him prison time, away from his family, and mistakes. So, with the woman that he loves, he wants to deter her from any further psychological, emotional damage. Now, what I didn't appreciate is because, like I said, I felt like there was immediate tension between her and Dr. Now, because when they have their first visit, he immediately addresses the fact that she's been a patient there before.
How you doing? Dr. Now, how you doing?
Good. So, Natanya, good to see you again.
Yes, sir.
So, you brought someone new with you this time. And who is this young man with you?
This is my fiance, the one.
All right. Nice to meet you, Dwayne. Well, Natanya, it says here in the chart that you came in 5 years ago when you were 482 pounds. And now you're 631 pounds. And how long you been in this motorized wheelchair?
About 5 years.
Okay, so things have gotten worse for you. So now, how motivated you are to change your eating habit, how motivated you to change your life, and how motivated you are to give up this motorized wheelchair?
I'm very motivated.
So what are you willing to do?
And that she lacked the willpower to continue and try to succeed. Of course, you have to get that elephant in the room out of the way. But you guys know, if you are an avid 600-pound life watcher, that Dr. Now holds no bars when it comes to these patients. He's a straight shooter, and if you're going to give him excuses, he's going to call them out and make you give him something else.
Chance to make those changes. And in the past 5 years, you haven't made those changes. What is different today?
To the point where you will either say, you know what, I'm not capable of this, and he will drop your ass like a hot potato, or I just don't have the right tools. Can you, believe in me and help me a little longer? With LaTanya, she immediately thought and was giving off the impression that she was not perfect, but she didn't have any struggles. And it wasn't until, I believe, month 3 when she came in and she actually gained weight, because she hadn't lost anything from the initial time to month 3. She was gaining. The first month, I think she gained 4 pounds or 7 pounds, and then again she gained another like 9 pounds. So it wasn't a lot, but she definitely wasn't sticking to the diet, and she really wasn't doing the exercises, even though she had a personal trainer. So Dr. Now chose to call her out, and he said, one of the main reasons why you were dropped the first time I seen you as a patient 6 years ago was because you lacked the determination and initiative to succeed. And this time it looks like you're doing the same thing. Guys, I really feel like LaTanya just used this as an opportunity to be on TV and to like get a little bit of 15 minutes of fame, because she would always say like, I would never drive down here and you think I want to waste my time and
She expects to continue eating what she does, and I make her to lose weight, but that's not going to happen. So, this is a situation that it's all up to her to wanted to make the changes.
You think I want to come here, drive out a long time, come here just to get chewed out? I could have stayed at home for that.
We're not trading out. We're giving you
Yeah.
the reality.
Yeah, that is a reality. I mean, and you saying all that just to say, well, your fat ass needs to lose weight. You in a wheelchair. You're 37 years old. If you keep going the way you're going, you're not going to make it. That's basically all you have to say.
I want to drive 4 hours down here every month to see you, and I'm not giving it my all, and blah, blah, blah. Girl, I don't know what you're doing it for. It could be because you signed a contract. It could be because the cameras are in your face, or it could be because you truly believe that you're trying your best, and to prove so, you're continuing to go to these appointments even though you know you weren't, and he's going to find out. Now's going to find out. See, he asking things. It's like when parents say, tell me the truth, even though they've already caught you red-handed, seen the text messages or seen the mess that you made or the thing that you broke, and they want to see where your integrity lies, and they ask you to see if you're going to lie or tell the truth, but they really already know the answer. That's how Dr. Now is with these patients, and LaTanya was no exception. Now, not to harbor too much on her personality, but realistically, a lot of the times, because these people are physically immobile or close to it, how Tanya self-sabotaged herself from the entire beginning. And I think that because she was a patient 6 years ago and she wasn't capable of doing it, she went into it arrogantly thinking she was going to be able to half-pass her way through it. And Dr. Now held her accountable, and he called her out with her behavior, and he definitely let her know, you have to either do this and do this right in my way, or it's not going to work, and you're just going to be in the situation that you were 5 years ago. The only difference is naturally she's older, and they come to find out in that episode that there's a lot of strain on her heart, which is literally, physically impaling her to the point where it can kill her. And with that severity that Dr. Now uncovers and tells her and Dewan, she still doesn't take losing weight seriously. By the end of the episode, Dr. Now, month 11 comes, and he decides to let her know, we're not setting another appointment. We're not going to continue with you with the program. And if you want to lose some weight, lose it. And, once you lose 60 pounds and you're able to be weighed at home, then you can call and we can probably schedule another appointment. But he just was like washing his hands and was done with her. And I can't say, guys, I blame him for 1 second. If you've seen this episode and you agree, or your thoughts are on it may be similar or different, definitely comment down below. I would love to hear and have a discussion. I think I covered all of the talking points for this episode. Keep it short, sweet, and to the point. And also next up, what you're doing, and go watch this. I love you guys. Bye.